Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to our first channel me today on F124. So we're here at Brazil at Interlagos Circuit for the season finale for round 10, the final round of the season in ANL for season 7. So as we come towards, well, just doing my outlap right now, it is raining in qualifying. So we're doing full quali for this one, and a 5th race as usual, as normally. So we skipped Q1 because there's only 16 drivers, so we skipped Q1 into Q2. So that's why there's that's Q2 on the top of the screen there. So I've just shown you my best lap in intermediates. So it is wet, and the track is trying to dry up a little bit because Otis is on soft tyres, so it feels a bit too early for the dry tyres. But the dry tyres is kind of getting there, but it feels a bit too wet for me. So I decided to stay on inters for about 5 laps, and this is kind of my best lap I'm showing you right now. And through the middle sector right now, I managed to gain almost, well, I mean I dropped a little bit, but I managed to gain over 3 tenths there. But it's kind of close between 2.5, 3 tenths, 3.5 tenths and all that. So doing the best I can and see what I can do from there. And yeah, and also Kingsman's already won the championship for, I think that was in the last round. That was at Silverstone. That was round 9. That was where he won the championship that round. So if you haven't seen my Silverstone video yet, make sure to check that out. That'll be in the description if you haven't seen it yet. So I'll leave it to you guys what happened after the race, and I won't spoil it what happened, and from there go on from there. So in the description you can check out as well. So I managed to get P4 on that run, so that's enough to be into Q3 in the top 10. So yeah, so not too bad on that run, so I was quite okay with it. It's all about top 10 in this one. So I skipped Q1 like I said earlier, so because there's only 16 drivers for this one. As we move on to Q3 now, doing my first run, it is definitely drying up. And the track's definitely dry now, so it's definitely dry tyres now. Just doing my first run. This is kind of my banker lap really, so not my quickest, but the track will get faster and faster at the end of the session. So I'm just trying to put my banker in there and all that. So yeah, Silverstone was a good round for me. Coming into this round, I'm feeling okay after having it Silverstone. I managed to get a good result, and that was my best result yet of the season, finishing P5 with a Joker, a 2-stop race, and then a 6-minute qualifying. But luckily it's only full quali for this one, Q1, Q2 and Q3, as it was in Spain in the first round back a few months ago. I think it was around August time where the season began. So yeah, so Silverstone was a good round. Really kind of helped the 2-stop a little bit, and the strategy kind of worked, and it paid off. And luckily there was no safety cars, because that would have ruined my pit stops really. That means I have to do it again. But luckily, no safety cars, did a 2-stop, no issues from there. So that was nice. So yeah, come towards the 9 now. Only with 5 minutes to go, just about 5 minutes to go, I managed to get into the lead. Well, P1. Well, I was quickest, and then Otis was gone faster right behind me 5 seconds later. As we move on to my final run now, with 30 seconds to go, this was my best lap of the session in Q3, and in a lap's time, I'll show you that in a second, it was quite close, because the track was getting faster and faster, so and all that. So I managed to gain 6 tenths in the first 3 corners, so the track is definitely drying up really quickly, and more grip as well, the better. Yeah, so Kingsman was already on the championship. He's starting from the back. I think it's 15th on the grid, because the other guy who's a reverse driver, he's starting in last place. Destroyer decided to go at the back as well, because the championship's already done and dusted in the driver's standings. So those 3 very quick drivers are starting from the back in this race. So I decided to do the last question mark challenge, like I did in Texas after the sprint race, where I made a mistake jumping to start 2 rounds ago. So those 3 are doing a last question mark challenge, or maybe a last first challenge, I think, maybe, for some of the guys. And then, as the corner was this corner, I made a mistake here. That cost me pole position, so As I come towards the 9 now, seeing my ERS, using DRS, I managed to gain over 3.5 seconds on that lap, on my Prezi lap, and that puts me in P2 for the grid. As I come towards the end of the session right now, that puts me P4, only by half a second, half a tenth, 500ths of a second from pole position, and only 4 thousandths from the top 2. And Jeffy was on pole, so I was quite surprised he got pole for that. I thought it was P3 then, but it turns out it was P4. But anyway, we move on to the race now. 5 lights are out, and we're underway for Brazil for the season finale in season 7. So it's okay start, just trying to stay on the inside. Ranger is on the outside because he's on the fresher he's on more grippier tyres than me. Got a warning somehow, but it doesn't feel like a warning to me, but it's what it is. So those guys at the top are using medium tyres, and I'm on the hard tyres. So, and on Otis and behind me are using soft tyres. So I'm not sure, like it was in Bahrain, where I made a mistake going on to that tyre, because it feels the hard tyres on this game is really good. So it's kind of a decent tyre to go on. So I was a little bit confused with the tyre strategies, what those guys are on. Softs, mediums. Well, mediums I think I'm okay with, but the soft guys, like Otis and all that, I'm not sure it's a good idea. So, because you get temperature, up to really temperature mode straight away, like really high temperatures. I don't want that in this race, because I don't want to get high temperatures early on in the race. That's why I avoided the soft tyres. That's why I went on to the hards. So I decided to save the mediums for the end of the race. Like, I'm not going to pit till like lap, maybe not for another 20 laps maybe, so something like that. So the end of the first lap now, it's not too bad. Still in the DRS zone from Ranger and Nation are battling for P3 at the moment. Come towards turn 4, Nation, I'm not sure Nation pushed Ranger wide at turn 4. A little bit of tap there, but lucky I gained a place back from Ranger, so that was very lucky for me. So I decided to follow him for now, because Nations sometimes do get aggressive on the offensive and all that. But decided not to fight Nation that much. Decided to follow him because he's on mediums, and Effo's very quick as well. So I'll just follow those two for now. And Jeffy's still leading, and then from pole position, so he's still leading after 2 laps. So, but since DRS is coming into play a lap later, this is where he might struggle a little bit leading. This is why the best place to be is in the middle of the pack, or maybe P3 the better, because at the beginning of the race. And then Otis decided to go past me, so I decided well, he's on soft tyres, so I'm not trying to fight that much, so I'm just trying to stay with the top 3 with DRS, but he's still got DRS as well, so he didn't fight that much. He's on soft tyres than me, so I'm not going to fight that much. You got Strocco, who's on softs, Ranger's on mediums, who got hit a lap ago by Nation at turn 4. So I'll explain that later at the end of the race, what happened though, with the penalty system wise, while I was away at the weekend, because I couldn't upload it on Friday, so I had to wait till today, so for this video, so it takes me time, but it's what it is. But I can't do things at once, so it's what it is. So Strocco made a mistake in I think it was 2 corners ago when he was trying to get past me there. Kind of a risky corner to overtake, but he's on grip tyres. He's on much grippier tyres than I am. And also the race is still a long way to go, so we're just about to end. We're on 3 laps of the race already. Ranger set fast after the race, so he's behind me. So, just following the first 4 right now. Jeffrey's lost 2 places now in a lap. So, that means Nation and Effo are still leading the race. So, that's I think Nation might... No, Effo's leading at the moment, so because he's in the Aston Martin. And Nation's in the Cash App team. I got a warning there for going wide at turn 4, so that's my first warning of the race. So, yeah, it's not a bad thing, but at least I know where the track limits are. So, thank God I did a little bit of practice before this round, because sometimes it's very tricky where trying to get it right. It's all about getting the lap right, really. So through the exit of turn 10 now, or 11, I can't remember what corner it is. Now we're onto the last corner now, onto this main straight, down towards turn 1. We've got Destroyer, who's behind me. He's on mediums. He started at the back in this race. He's gained 10 places already in the first 4 laps. So he's right behind me now. So I was thinking, like, okay, there's no point fighting him, because the championship's already done. And he's trying to do the last of the first challenge, I think. So that's what he's doing right now. So on that 5 now, decided to follow Otis still. He's still in the DRS though, from Jeffrey, who's in P3. I decided to save my battery a little bit down here, just in case I need to follow these guys ahead. Then come towards turn 6, sorry. There might be a little bit of instant coming up right ahead, any second right now.
Oh, Otis.
So I meant almost really crashed into Otis there, but luckily no issues there at all. So I thought he was going to crash in front of me, but luckily he didn't. Luckily there's no damage for that. Lost about maybe a tenth then from that train in front of me, but luckily I'm still in the DRS zone from Otis. So I'm using all my battery just to get back into that top 5. And then you got Destroyer who's on my tail, right on my rear wing. So I decided not to fight him that much. So I decided to let him through at turn 1. So, like here, right now. So I'm not fighting him that much. He's a fast driver, of course. So no point fighting him. If you're in a different division, or if you're in the same division, but he's a half a second slower than you, there's no point fighting him. So I'd rather just follow him and then see what happens from there. So he's doing really well from 16th on the grid, so in the first 5 laps. So I mean, I was quite surprised. And I don't know where Kingsman is. I think he's behind, I think he's like top 10 or something. And then I think you got the Red Bull driver who's behind Ranger, so he's doing alright as well. So the guys from behind are doing alright, making through the field, and Destroyer is in the top 5 already. So yeah, that is why Destroyer is very quick. I mean, I thought, I don't know how he's doing it, but I mean, fair enough to him though. So yeah, so I decided to follow the Destroyer for a lap now, just to stay in the DRS. Just trying to stay in the DRS so I can just stay with this train in front of me. Decided to go back a little bit, don't want to get too close to them. The Destroyer decided to get past Otis at turn 1, like he did to me a lap ago. So that's into P5, P4 for him now. So I'm still in P6 though, so not doing too bad. I only lost 2 places from the start because of fast drivers. So come towards turn 4 now, still in the DRS, not too bad at all. Through 5, very nicely. And then this is where it gets messy, so stay tuned for that, or any second now.
Oh, Otis! What are you doing, man? Fucking hell. Fuck's sake. I had nowhere to go. I had nowhere to go.
Yeah, so as you can see there, I was a little bit angry with that instant because of Otis, who spun in front of me. I have nowhere to go. I got boxed in by Ranger, who was behind me, who spun me around. It's not his fault though, but I'm blaming Otis for that instant because he braked a little bit too late. He hit Destroyer's rear wing, and then he got tapped him half spin, and I had nowhere to go. I was boxed in with Ranger. I was going to go to the left at the last seconds, but I had nowhere to go. So I was a little bit frustrated with that. I mean, I was doing so well in that train till that happened. So I'm kind of frustrated, that was. So I was a little bit annoyed, but it's what it is. It's racing. It happens in racing sometimes. Some people make mistakes. Not kind of my fault, but it's what it is. So let's move on to the end of that 9 now. I managed to get back into the DRS from this Haas driver who's on soft tyres, who's pitting anyway. He's on Warden Sauce by now, I think. Maybe the tension's a bit too high, I think. And then we've got Thomas in front of me, who's in P8, so he's struggling than I am. So I'm trying to get into the DRS from this guy, who's in front of me. So I was still annoyed at this stage. Well, it happened on lap 7, like earlier in the race. I was kind of almost angry, but I was almost frustrated and a little bit annoyed from Otis. So it's just, he could have, what could I have done to avoid it? I just couldn't go. I just had nowhere to go. So I was boxed in by Ranger and Otis. So I'm not blaming Ranger because of who spun me around. I'm blaming Otis because he braked a little bit too late and hit Destroyer's rear wing. And that's where the incident happened. That's where it all started. So, it's what it is, but luckily I didn't get damaged though. So I was very lucky with that. So luckily it was simulation damage. That would have been worse. My race would have been over because if my rear wing would be damaged, and then my race would have been over. So on to that's never now. I managed to get. I was trying to get past Thomas at turn 1, but I was a bit too far back. I could have backed off a little bit, but I decided to put my trying to do a dummy a little bit of dummy there, but I wasn't sure where to go. I was worried. I hate when people do that when they go into the middle and then they don't know where to go. And I had nowhere to go. I was going to go to the left. He wasn't going to the left, so I went to the right. He was in the middle. So where was I meant to go? If you're going to defend one side, don't go in the middle to make it confusion. For some people, not just him, but some open lobbies do that. And I just don't know where to go for the overtake and all that. Well, lucky I got past him though, so lucky I got no damage as well from that instant. It was only a warning, but I was okay with it, so I'm not sure that's my final warning, but I mean, I only had one track warning so far, so I'm not sure what happened there though. As we skip on to lap 15 now, kind of nothing happened in the race, apart from the leaders were, well, in the train still, from P6 I think, onwards, or I think it's P7. Well, FO's pitting for hards now, onto mediums, he started on mediums, so I'm back into P7, where I was, well, till I spun 9 laps ago. And so coming towards the end of lap 16 now, Destroyer decided to pit in now for the hards, and he's got a 10-second penalty, so I'm not sure he's missed his pit limiter speed or something, but you do get a 10-second penalty for that, so that might cost him the win, but the championship's already done and dusted anyway in that last round at Silverstone. So I think he's just doing it for fun anyway. So as you come towards a lap later, Nation decides to pit in.
Virtual safety car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta on your dash.
So the virtual safety car has come out. So it's been a while since we had a virtual safety car in the race. So I'm not sure I made the right decision to stay out, but I already missed the pit lane when that happened. So I'll continue on anyway.
Okay, VSC ending. We're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
So at the end of the virtual safety car, I decided to skip the pit lane again. It's already ended anyway, so I decided to continue on the hards, on old hards now. Destroyer and Nation already pitted. Nation had a good pit in, I think, for the virtual, so he saved a little bit of time. But I wasn't sure, because I was already missed the pit lane anyway, so when the virtual came out, so I already went past it. And also, mediums, I'd rather go to lap 20 or something, so I can make it to lap 16 or something. As I come towards lap 21 right now, I decided to let Destroyer through with DRS, because he's on fresh hards than I am. Decided to pit in, good. At least I didn't get a 10-second penalty for that. So I decided to go on to the mediums, to the end of the race, and see what I can do from there. A nice pit stop there. I always struggle with the pit stops, with the exit thing. So I always mess up every time, but luckily the pit stop was fine now. Since I think it was Texas where I had a good pit stop and all that. So not too bad. So coming towards the exit of the pit lane right now. I'm in P8. Still in the top 10, so I'm okay with that. So now I've got to try and catch up to this, this train in front of me, like for P6, I think, up the road. So if we skip on to lap 24, just set the fast up of the race, a 9.4. So I'm the definitely quickest guy on track right now. So I've got the extra point at the moment. So because I'm on fresher tyres than those guys are, because they're on hards right now. I'm on fresh mediums. So my time is a little bit faster than those guys. So yeah, so I've got the extra point at the moment. So that might help a little bit. Not just the team standings, but the driver standings as well. Will give me a hand in a little bit. So as come towards through the middle sector now, a lap later, I'm still trying my hardest, and just Thomas is retired from the race, so it's not his day today from this round. So he's just struggling for pace-wise, struggling, made a few mistakes along the way, and then all that. So yeah, so Destroyer is still leading the race, so he's miles away from P2 and the P3. The P3 is in that battle. The P3 is a good battle though. So it's gone towards lap 29 now. I've skipped 4 laps later. So nothing happened in this race apart from this bit here where I made a mistake. Lucky I didn't get a warning. And Efro made a mistake there on that bit. So not sure what happened to him though. Maybe missed his braking point or something. I don't know. Something like that. So yeah, so not too bad. Into P7. And Jeffy's got a 3-second penalty. So I'm only a second behind him. So I can get P6 in the race. And then Nation's got a penalty as well, but I'm a bit too far behind. So I have to see what I can do from there. So, not too bad so far. And also, Nation, I think he had at the end of the race, I think he had a 5-second penalty for that incident at turn 4 with Ranger on lap 2. You saw earlier in the video. And then also, if you come towards... Well, we're on lap 30 right now. Ranger has a penalty as well. Well, not on this lap, but it was on lap 33, where I think Nation went for the move on Ranger, and then, well, trying to go for the overtake. Then I think Ranger and Nation got tangled each other. So Nation's already ahead of the corner of the apex there, at turn 1, that was, on lap 33. So Ranger's got a 5-second penalty for tangling Nation on his left rear. I think it was on that. Yeah, that was lap 33. That was. So he got a 5-second penalty as well. So they both have 5-second penalties each other. Turn 4 for Ranger, well for Nation, and then turn 1 on lap 33 for Ranger. So instead of being, I'm kind of P6 at the moment because I managed to get into Jeffrey's under 3-second penalty window. So not going to get a warning or track limits and all that. So I was very lucky with that, with those warning instants. But luckily, I'm still in P6 though. So on that 33 now. So this is where they both got tangled. That was on 33. So that's what happened for those two. So Ranger got a 5-second penalty for that. Nation had a 5-second penalty for Ranger for pushing him off at turn 4, I think, if I get that correctly. Or I'm not sure what happened there, but luckily I was in that instant, so I was very lucky with that. So on to lap 35 now. With 2 laps to go, we've got one person who's retired from the race, who's one of the reverse drivers. So still in P7 though, not doing too bad. My mediums are okay at this stage. I think hards are kind of, I don't know, maybe okay at this stage. So I think my mediums are kind of okay at this stage, but I'm still doing my personal bests and all that. Going fast as I can, really. So yeah, so I'm still trying my hardest to stay within, without getting track limits and all that. Just to make sure and all that. Definitely catching up to Jeffy though, only 2 seconds behind him. I can see him in the distance, but luckily I'm kind of P6 at this stage, so as long as I stay under 3 seconds, I should be alright for P6. So yeah, so at the moment with Nation and Ranger have 5-second penalties because of that. I sort of said that to you 2 minutes ago. I'm kind of maybe P4 at this stage. So this is battle for P4, I think. So if I get that correctly. So as long as I stay behind those two, as long as I'm staying ahead of those two, we'll be alright. And then Jeffrey made a mistake at turn 2. He made a mistake on the exit. and that puts me to P6. So I was very lucky with that. So I was fine with that. So come towards turn 4, Ranger hasn't got a 3-second penalty for no track limits. So he has a 5-second penalty for that 33 that was, when he got tangled left rear's Nation's rear wheel. And Nation had a 5-second penalty for pushing Ranger off at turn 4 on that 2 that was. So I'm already ahead of Nation at this point, and I think I'm ahead of Ranger as well for P4. So Destroyer's won the race, so fair enough to him. He was very quick. He's a very quick driver, so I mean he could have won the championship, but hopefully he'll try win the championship in Season 8 maybe, if there is Season 8 or not. So come towards the 9 right now. Kingsman's in the top 3. Ranger and Nation are P4 and P5. I managed to finish P6 on the road, but with those penalty things, I managed to finish P4 in the race because I saw the results and penalty-wise, so that puts me into P4 at the end of the race at Brazil, because those two had 5-second penalties because of the incidents they had. So not too bad. So I'll definitely take P4 on the road, so it's definitely my personal best, I think. So that is my best race so far. I would say it's a good recovery from incident on that 7 with Otis, but luckily I managed to recover from that. So I'll take P4. That's my best result so far. That is the season finale for Brazil. So for the last round of the season in round 10 for ANL in season 7. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure you like, subscribe to your channel. That appreciate a lot. That gives me support with that. If you are new to your channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to your channel, that appreciate a lot as well. And I'll see you guys next video. See you guys next time on F124. Have a nice day. Enjoy your weekend. Have a nice day. Enjoy your weekend. Always said that. Have a nice day. See you next video. And see you later.